Hello and welcome back here to Ashington Cricket Club. Tynedale 85 for 6 with Boyd bowling to McCabe, who defends this one to short extra cover along the ground, and there's no run. So we've lost a couple of wickets since we were last on here at Ashington. Ewan Stevenson's just gone a few moments ago for 15, bowled by Rutherford, and it was Ollie Fletcher before that. Although I think we were on there when that one, when Ollie's wicket fell. But here's Boyd again now over the wicket to McCabe on a gorgeous evening weather-wise here at Ashington, and that one's just defended off onto the leg side, and it runs out to Sharky there at deep mid-on, and he picks it up. So there's two slips, a point, a cover, deep cover on the edge of the circle, and an extra cover mid-off, a mid-on, a mid-wicket, and Rutherford up there at fine leg. So here we go again now. Here's Boyd, in he goes, bowling to McCabe. McCabe plays this one out, a nice timed shot off his legs, up past the right hand, wide, mid-on there, and it's just going to be stopped before it gets to the boundary, across to the right. Here it comes now. And he's going to get 3 runs there, McCabe. That takes him to 41 now. It's been an excellent innings from him this afternoon, battling his way back. He came in before the 10th over when Tynedale were in big trouble at 12 for 4. But 88 now. The score 88 for 6. 145 to win for Tynedale. And we're in the 30th over here, so 20 to go after this one, a possible maximum of 20. As the next ball to Dag now, the new batsman, came in for Ewan Stevenson, and he goes forward and defends this one along the ground to the offside, and it's picked up there deep mid-off, and there's no run, and that's the end of the over. Umpire Tomlinson just hands his cap, A-cap, back to Boyd there, and he walks off to square leg, does the umpire. So at the end of the over, 88 for 6 after 30, Tynedale, in reply to Ashington's 227 for 8. So all these runs in hand they've got. Tynedale, the obvious target now for Tynedale, get to the 100, get an extra batting point, get their first batting point to add to the 4 points they got when bowling with those 8 wickets. And it's going to be McCabe on strike, and it's going to be against him is going to be Rutherford. Left arm around the wicket to the right hander now, no slips, loops one up, and that's turned to leg, and they're going to get one. It's got past the fielder there at square leg. They might get 2 here. 2 fielders in pursuit of the ball now across to the left, and they get it. And 2 runs there to McCabe. That takes the score to 90 for 6. He goes to 43. 143 to win for Tynedale. And in comes Rutherford again now, full and defended back down the pitch along the ground, and Rutherford picks it up there, and there's no run. And in comes Rutherford again, bowls. Down the pitch goes McCabe, and they're going to get a single here. They'll have to be quick. There'll be a shot at the stumps, but no, the fielder's missed it. He didn't pick it up cleanly there from deep mid-off, and there's a single to the total. So at the end of the no, we've got one more left. 91 for 6 now, Tynedale. It's McCabe who's gone to 44 with that shot, and that brings Dag on to strike, who is yet to score. And here's Rutherford now. We've got a slip and a leg slip and 2 mid-wickets, and he's hooked it, he's driven it over the top of both of them and up to the scoreboard for 4 runs. Good shot there from Will Dag. He walks back to the striker's end, so 4 runs there to the total, 95. He gets off the mark with a boundary. So 95 for 6 now. 133 to win now. 133 for Tynedale to win. So we've got for Dag, The field's changed now. One of those close mid-wickets has dropped down under the boundary across to the right as Rutherford's over the wicket now to the left-hander. And Dag just smothers this one into the ground and it runs off there and is fielded at close mid-wicket. So we've got a slip, a leg slip, a deep square leg, an orthodox square leg, a deep mid-wicket, a close mid-wicket, a mid-off, a mid-on and a point. Now here's Rutherford again now, over the wicket in towards us, bowling to Dag, who's back in his crease and drives, but it's straight along the ground, just to the offside, and Rutherford does the fielding there from his own bowling, and that's the end of the over. 95 for 6 Tynedale, 133 they need to win now, and they'll have 19 overs to do it in, if they can get that far, but it's a change of bowling at this end. Boyd's gone off and we're going to have the second spell of Ben Harmison, the captain of Ashington. His shirt sleeves with his orange heels on his boots there, just at this end, so he'll be running away from us to the right-handed McCabe, so the offside across to the left this time. So there's a slip, a point, a cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, a deep mid-wicket, a close straight mid-wicket. We're going to have a gully in now and a fine leg as well. Now we're going to have a second slip, so 2 slips now as well. McCabe against Harmison. A bowled outside the off stump. Wide ball called there by the umpire. So 1 to the total. That's 96 now for 6 Tynedale. 132 to win. 32nd over, maximum of 50. And it's just coming up to 7 o'clock here on this Saturday night at Ashington. Extended commentary spells this afternoon for us as in goes Harmison against McCabe again, and that's on the leg stump. It's turned up towards square leg, towards the trees across to the right. It's fielded now. And he just gets a single there, McCabe. He moves to 45. The score goes to 97 for 6. So 131 to win now for Tynedale. And it's going to be Harmison to the left-handed Dag this time. So there's going to be 2 slips, a fine leg, a mid-wicket, a mid-on, deep mid-off, extra cover. We've got a backward point. We've got a gully, as in goes Harmison now over the wicket. Dag just plays this one down into the ground to leg, across to the left, and it's fielded there at mid-wicket and there's no run. The ball comes on the leg side field, so it's 7-2 here in favour of the off. And the 2 on the leg side at mid-wicket and mid-on. Harmison bowls, and that's nicely clipped off his toes there from Dag, running away to our left up towards the mid-wicket boundary. Fielded now. Dag's got 2 runs. He goes to 90. The score goes to 99, and the Dag goes to 6 now, and he'll be on strike again. So 129 now to win for Tynedale. Here's Dag now against Harmison. Straight ball this time, and Dag's forward defending back down the pitch and slightly to the leg side, and Harmison picks it up and gives his face a little wipe with the front of his shirt there. Must be getting hot out there in the sun, bright sunshine now. And if you're joining us for the 7 o'clock broadcast, if you've just joined us, as William Dag is about to change his bat. It looks like he's split the toe of his bat. He's having a look. So that's the second Tynedale player that has asked for a new bat. I think Callan McCabe got one earlier in the innings. He certainly signalled. So we've got a delay in play here. So if you're just joining us at 7 o'clock, we've had extended periods of commentary this afternoon. But if you are just joining us now, it's Tynedale chasing 228 to win, or 99 for 6 in the 32nd over of a maximum of 50. 6 to Dag, and an excellent 45 for Callan McCabe, who's at the non-striker's end. So now the slips have been roused back into action. The slips in the gully there, they were doing some strange stretches up there, but here's Harmison now to Dag. Defends this one again onto the leg side, just slightly off the straight, and Harmison half stops it there with his left hand. No run, still 99 for 6. And here's Harmison again now, just about to turn at the end of his run. His long legs have burst him in all afternoon. He's in again to Dag. Short this time, and Dag just defends it from just below his waist onto the leg side, and there's no run. It's kicked back towards the other end as it's the end of the over. Tynedale 99 for 6, 45 to McCabe, 6 to Dag, and we've had 32 overs now. And the men out so far: Tom Cant, Sam Mannion, Jamie Quite, Dan Parker, Ewan Stevenson and Ollie Fletcher. 2 wickets to Collins, 2 wickets to Ben Harmison, and 1 each for Rutherford and Sharkey. And we're going to have Rutherford again up at the top end, so he'll be coming towards us, and McCabe, the right-hander, so he's just asking for the side screen to be moved down at that up at that top end at the terrace houses there. So that's sorted out. Now let's get back to the play here. Rutherford, the slow bowler, round the corner he comes, driven a full ball as McCabe out to deep mid on there, about 2/3 back to the boundary, and there's a single. So that's the 100 up for Tynedale, and that gets them 1 batting point, their first batting point of the afternoon. And McCabe's gone to 46, and it's gone to 128 now to win this match for Tynedale. Second ball from Rutherford here to Dag, and that one's played into the leg side, down under the ground. So we've got 1 slip, a leg slip, a deep backward square, deep mid wicket. Third ball here from Rutherford, loops one up, Dag drives along the ground, didn't time it though, and it went just to the left hand of mid-off there, deep mid-off. Now here's Rutherford again. 4th ball, Dag back, and he played a miss there. Quite tried to cut, it wasn't wide enough to cut, and Grant didn't take it cleanly, but it must have been awful close to the stumps. No doubt an ooh and a ah from behind there. Here we go, Rutherford, 5th ball of the over, 100 for 6, Tynedale. Flatter this time, and Dag's back. Well pitched up as well. He was back to that ball. It didn't get up so much, and he drove it off the back foot up to deep mid-off again, but there's no run. Rutherford now, last ball. Dag's forward, well forward that time, and the ball bounces up, and it just plops down in front of him, and there's no run off the last ball there. So the end of the over, end of the 33rd, 100 for 6 Tynedale, 46 to McCabe, and 6 to William Dag. And the crowd in front of us on the terrace here just thinned out a bit. Trying to look round the corner here to see if there's anybody on the tables, but there's still a few up by to the left of the sight screen at the top end, as it's Harmison who takes up the attack against McCabe. Pulls it, and that may be going for 4, is it? No, he didn't time it, so he's just got the 1 there. I thought that might have been going for his 50, but he gets 1, he goes to 47, and the score goes to 101 for 6, and that's the winning margin now down to 127. And Dag on to strike, and he's going to have 2 slips and a deep mid wicket. Harmison to bowl now, and he keeps this one out to the leg side, up on his toes there, and it's fielded at short mid wicket, and there's no run. The ball being polished hard there. Now it's back to Harmison. He's about to run in again. He's just getting to the end of his run. In fact, he's got quite a way to go. He's nearly there now. He's just back. So 2 slips in a gully. In he goes. Bowling to Dag. Short ball outside the off stump, and Dag resists having a go at that one. And it goes through to Grant, the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. Now the ball, a big throw from O'Brien there. Back down to Sharkey at this end. So changing the field. Another slip going into leg slip. So we've got just a deep mid wicket and a fine leg, and a leg slip on the offside to the left in the field as we look at the play here. We've got 2 slips and a gully, a backward point, a cover, and we've got 1 over now. We've got a mid on in as well now. So here we go. Here's Dag. Round the wicket goes Harmison, and that's defended by Dag just as a glass goes pop outside. And there was no run there. They may have picked that up on the microphone, but it shattered into about 75 different pieces out there. So we'll stick with the play while that one's cleaned up, as Harmison is about to bowl again. And it's 101 for 6. Dag on strike, 6 not out. Harmison around the wicket to Dag, the left-hander. Short, down the leg side this time, and Dag shaped the pull, but he just let it go, and there's no run. There's O'Brien again, dive bombs Sharkey with another throw from one end of the pitch in the slips to the other. And we're about to get a photo taken out here. Not of us, by the way, but one of his mates there, he's probably never held a bush in his life, but he's going to have a chance to practice now. How many fellas does it take to sweep broken glass up? There's about 7 of them out there, but here's Harmison again, bowls outside the off stump, short, and Dag shapes to cut, but he plays and misses, and that's the end of the over. It's 101 for 6, and still 127 to win for Tynedale, 47 to Callan McCabe, and 6 to William Dag. And we'll have a short break there. We'll be back in just a moment after we hear from the Royal Oak at Cornsay Colliery.
On Spreaker Internet Radio, in association with the Royal Oak Country Hotel, Cornsay Colliery, County Durham.
Now here's Rutherford to take up the attack, bowling to McCabe, who's on the back foot driving up for 1, 2 deep mid off there at the top end, and he goes to 48. The score goes to 102 for 6 Tynedale, and that takes the margin now down to 126. So just 2 runs for McCabe to get his 50 as Rutherford's in to bowl to Dag now, and he went a big drive there, but it came off the inside of the bat and runs out behind square across to the right hand side, the leg side, that one, and he gets a single anyway, and that takes him to 7. The score goes to 103 for 6 Tynedale, 125 now the winning margin, and McCabe now 48 not out. Harmison holds up play again. There's going to be 2 extra covers here, a deep cover, a backward point, a square leg. As in comes Rutherford now, he's down and he's going to be stumped. Oh, what a shame, he's done it, he went down the pitch. Oh my word, he's out for 48. It was a looping ball, he just didn't quite get there and he missed, and in the end it was an easy stumping for Grant. And Callan McCabe has gone for 48, stumped. And Rutherford gets his second wicket of the afternoon. Tynedale 103 for 7. So 2 runs short of a 50 there for McCabe. And the Ashington fielders out there all split up. And just 3 wickets to take now for Ashington as McCabe makes his way off up there. 103 for 7. And it's going the new batsman out there, Sam Peter. We're in the 35th over here at the moment. Rutherford's bowling it. He's just taken his second wicket. McCabe out, stumped Grant, bowled Rutherford for 48. 103 for 7, Tynedale. Still 124 runs short of Ashington, or one more for the winning margin. So Sam Peter's going to be surrounded here. We've got a silly mid-off. We've got a short extra cover, our silly point. We've got 2 slips. Rutherford round the wicket now. Peters forward, defending, smothered that one down. And it goes to Harmison there, who's at silly mid-off there. And silly point just between him and the second slip. As Rutherford comes in and bowls now. And that's it. Clear the fielders out of there. Sam Peter for 1 up to mid-off. He was on the back foot there and chopped it down with a crossed bat. It forced Ben Harmison to jump into the air, and he gets off the mark with a single there. 104 now for 7, Tynedale, and the winning margin now 124. And I think we can count that out just at the moment. Our destiny and miracles will be needed, as Rutherford's in now and bowls a one that skids on, and Dag's equal to the task, just pushes it off the back foot up to mid-off there, and there's no run, and that's the end of the over. Tynedale chasing 228 to win, 104 for 7, 7 to Dag, 1 to Peter, and a wicket for Rutherford in that over, his second of the match, and it was Colin McCabe for 48, stumped by Grant. So it's going to be Ben Harmison to continue the attack here from this end, from our end. And he's going to go in and bowl to Sam Peter with this wide stance of his, a very attacking looking stance. 3 slips in a gully, plays and misses, going forward there, and there's no run. So we've got 3 slips and a gully, a point, a mid-off, and we've got a deep mid on, we've got a mid wicket and a fine leg. 104 for 7, Tynedale. Peter about to face up to Harmison again. Down the leg side this time, and that must have been close. He played at it there, did Sam Peter. Tried to pull it away, but it went through to Grant, the wicketkeeper, and there was no run. It's still 104. 36th over, and we're about to see Harmison bowl again. Here we go, in he goes away from us, past umpire Tomlinson. He bowls short outside the off stump, a play and a miss again from Peter, trying to cut the ball away that time. It was short and got up a bit, just put an extra ounce of energy into that one, did Harmison, and he just readjusts he laces on his boot there and gets the ball while walking back towards the end of his mark. So we've lost our fellas out in front of us. They've cleared that glass away pretty well before they've headed off, probably up into town or something like that. 104 for 7, Tynedale. Here's Harmison now, charges in again, bowling to Peter, swinging a miss outside the off again, tried to cut it away, and that one was about the same length, just short, and it kept low this time, and Peter was arching down for it, but he missed it, and it went through to Grant, the wicketkeeper. And all them slips and a gully lurking there as well. Any edge may just go to hand. There's every chance it'll go to hand. And here's Jamie Crichton just having a little wander around the ground. It's the second time I've seen him. As in goes Harmison again now to Peter. Down the leg side this time, and that's a good stop from Grant, flinging himself away to his left up at the top end there. Two-handed catch. And the ball comes back round. It's still 104 for 7, Tynedale. 124 is the winning margin. Sam Peter on strike. Dag at the non-striker's end. Still 3 slips and a gully. Everything shining in the sun here tonight at Ashington. Bowls on the leg stump, and Peter manages to turn that one to the vacant square leg area, and the wicketkeeper Grant goes and picks it up, and he doesn't get the run there because it was a leg bye signalled by the umpire. 105 for 7 Tynedale, and that's 36 overs done. So 14 to go here at Langwell Crescent tonight. Homerson just checking how many overs he's bowled there, I think. 105 for 7, 7 to Dag, 1 to Peter, and it's going to be Bob Rutherford again to carry on. 122 short at the minute, Tynedale. The next target 125 for that second batting point, but Peter's going to be surrounded again. Rutherford the ball, we've got a silly mid-off, a silly point, 2 slips. We've got a orthodox point, backward point as well. We've got Rutherford coming in the bowl, loops one up, and that's pull drived away down to the mid-wicket boundary. A lot of bottom hand in that shot from Peter, and he gets 4 runs for it. He moves to 5. The score goes to 109, and that takes it to 118. How many Tynedale are short of Ashington at the minute? 120 it would be to win. But here's Peter again now. That's took Harmison out of that silly point position. He's come across to short fine leg. We've got a close extra cover now. We've got 2 slips still, and we've got an orthodox cover and a backward point. Loops one up, and Peter's forward there and defends it. Just didn't quite get to it then. It just popped up in the air, but it was well short of Rutherford the bowler where it was going. But here he is again now. Rutherford round the wicket, drives this one, a full one from Rutherford, but it mistimed and it goes straight to deep mid-on there from Peter. He sets himself up again now. Rutherford about to come in to bowl off 2 or 3 paces. Back in a back foot drive up towards the scoreboard. It's running up there for 4. A lovely shot if it gets there. Well, a lovely shot anyway, but it stopped just in front of the boundary, and Peter's going to get 2 for that one. And he waited for that one, played it late, right between, in that gap, just to the right hand of, the left hand of extra cover there, short extra cover. So 2 runs, 111 for 7 now. Here's Rutherford again. Hits it high, drive, and that could be 6. I think, no, just 1 bounce for 4 up at that top end. A straight drive there from Sam Peter. He goes to 7. No, he goes to 11. 115 for 7 now. Now here's Rutherford again. Round the wicket he comes. Bowls, well pitched. Played late again from Sam Peter there. Just stepped back into his crease and pushed the ball into the ground, and it runs out there to short extra cover, and there's no run. So that's the end of the 37th. And it's 115 for 7 Tynedale, 7 to Dag, 11 to Sam Peter, and 113. The winning margin is away from Tynedale now. And we're going to have Collins to come back, is it, at this end? We'll soon see when he gets going, but he's going to bowl to Dag anyway. There's going to be 2 slips, a fine leg, a gully, a mid-wicket, a mid-on, a mid-off, and extra cover. So an enticing gap there between right round from extra cover to gully. Only umpire Wilburn standing there at the moment over into the shadows. The shadows just creeping a little bit further across onto the field from the right hand side. And here we go. First ball of the next over now, 38th. Here's Collins. And that's down the leg side to start with. He's changed ends, Collins. And it goes through to Grant, the wicketkeeper, that one. And there is no run. Now he's going to measure his run up again. So change in the field here. We've got a backward point now. Extra covers come across into mid-wicket. We've still got the fine leg in, 2 slips in a gully. And we've got a backward square leg as well. In goes Collins now. Bowls, full, toss, and Dag drives, but he mistimes it. And it's half stop there from Collins, and there's no run. Still 115 for 7 here on a gorgeous sunny evening in Ashington. And Dag just sets himself up again. Just stretches his sleeves up. Now he gets into position. 2 slips in the gully for Collins. Short, and Dag just closes the bat on that one and hits it into the ground. And it goes to mid-wicket there. And there's no run. So the offside across to our right as we watch the play here. Dag the left-hander. He just sets himself again. 2 slips a gully, a point, and an extra cover. Collins against Dag now. Dag comes forward, another defensive hit. This time into the left-hand side, and it's into the leg side this time, and it's fielded there at wide mid-on by Ben Harmison, who just walks across and keeps hold of the ball. Now he pops up a little catch to Collins, and he's nearly at the end of his run again. It's all gone a bit quiet here in the clubhouse at the moment. Collins again against Dag. And playing a miss outside the off stump this time. Dag coming forward there to a well pitched ball. And just looking where he's having a little pat with the bat. It was quite just short of a good length. And just wasn't there for the drive. And it went past the edge through to Grant, the wicketkeeper. And there was no run. Here's Collins against Dag again. Dag drives, and that's well fielded there by Ben Harmison. He throws the ball up to the wicketkeeper's end. That was a fuller ball this time from Collins, and Dag's just turned the bat inwards and hit it off the middle up there, but there was no pressure in the shot for Harmison to field, but he did anyway. That's the end of the over. That was the end of the 38th. 115 for 7 Tynedale, 112 short of Ashington's score of 227. And we're going to have Bob Rutherford again here. He's in consultation with Harmison up at the top end there. Harmison counting his fielders on the leg side. Rutherford having another say here. He's just throwing the ball up and down a bit. Now he's dropped mid-off and mid-on to 2/3 of the way back to the hedged boundary up at the terraced houses there. Because Sam Peter, he's shown he can hit them so far. Now here's Rutherford round the wicket to the right-hander. Back in his crease, and he chops the bat down straight, and he's pushed it up for 1. He's going to get it as well up to mid-on there, deep mid-on. And he goes to 12. The score goes to 116. Which brings the winning gap down to 112 now. In the 39th over, maximum of 50. Now that brings Dag on to strike. We've got a leg slip in here now, 1 slip. Again, the mid-off and mid-on, 2/3 of the way back, the sight screen on the move. Just waiting for Rutherford to get on the move now. Now mid-on is coming back inside the circle. We've got a deep square leg and a deep mid-wicket. 1 slip and a leg slip. A close mid-wicket, a point, and an orthodox mid-wicket. And that one is just turned up to mid-wicket there along the floor from Dag. Just closed the bat down again. And here's Dag again now from Rutherford. And he turns that one to the leg side again. And that's fielded off the ground, and there's no run. And here we go. Here's Dag. Again, he's about to face up to Rutherford. And here we go. A loopy one this time, and Dag just plays that one from the crease up along the ground. 2 deep mid-off, and there's no run. Rutherford back to his mark. He's still got his jump around as he comes over the wicket now to the left-handed Dag. Flatter this time, and Dag's forward driving, but just gently out along the floor. Up to deep mid-off again, and there's no run. Here's Rutherford. Just starts in line with umpire Wilburn up there. He's got his sun hat on, he's still got his jacket on. These streaks of grey hair just coming out of the back there. He's got his hands behind his back now and does a little shimmy just to keep them knees moving. And it's Rutherford in now. Bowls. Dag back in his crease and tries to punch this shot away, but he doesn't time it, and the ball rolls up along the ground too deep mid-off, and there's no run. The end of the over, 116 for 7 Tynedale. The 7 to Dag, 12 to Sam Peter. And we'll be back in just a few seconds.
Tynedale Cricket Club is sponsored in 2018 by MKM Building Supplies and Cars Billington, agricultural merchants, both local companies in Hexham.
So we're going to have Collins again from this near end, the broadcasting end, and he's about to bowl with 4 slips at the moment. Up he goes to Peter, who pulls this one for 4 runs to the left hand. He pulled that one straight from outside the off stump, and it gave the fielder no chance there. I think it was Sharkey at mid-on there. So well timed and placed. It's gone for 4 up to our right hand side at the long on boundary. So 120 for 7 now. Peter moves to 16. 108 now. The gap. Collins against Peter again. Bowls. He's bowled him. He's out. Peter's gone. Middle stump. Leans back. And Peter's gone. A full ball there. Trying to play a little bit round it. And trying to work it away to that leg side again. And he's out. He's bowled. He's gone for a quick fire 16 there. Some good shots in amongst it. So Tynedale now 120 for 8 in the 40th over. And Peter just makes his way off. And that's the 3rd wicket for Collins. So he's bowled well this afternoon for Ashington. 3 for Josh Renton, the new batsman in the Ashington innings earlier in the day. Josh Renton, the new batsman, right-handed going up there. Sam Peter goes for 16 and the score at 120. So Renton, just 2 wickets for Ashington to take now, and Tynedale get another 5. If they get another 5 runs here, they'll get a second batting bonus point, and it's going to be Collins again now. Umpire Tomlinson just holds his arm out there. There's still going to be 4 slips. It wouldn't surprise us if they put another one in there. But Renton, he can hit them when he gets going. Let's see what he can do here. Collins just he's tucked his shirt in now. Now he turns on his way again. Umpire Tomlinson happy. Renton on strike. And he just goes to defend that one. Not much foot movement, but the ball drops down into the ground. Square of the wicket to the left on the offside, and there's no run. And the score remains at 120. So 108 the gap. 107 would be the winning margin for Ashington if another run wasn't added. But here's Collins to Renton again, and he's hit that one too mid-wicket along the ground, and there's no run. And we've got a message here, I don't know who that's for. Let's have a look. Be somebody asking the score. No, it's Stacey. Stacey's not here today. She's asking, can I pick up some chips or something on the way home? But I'll see about that. We've got cricket to watch at the minute. Collins again now to Renton, and he just plays down into the offside again. And there's no run. Still 120 for 8. As Collins just gets the ball back, and this is the exact message. Do you fancy picking something up for tea? Kebab, pizza, curry, chips, anything. She must be suffering on the couch with a cold. As there's a full ball from Collins to Renton it is, who just pushes it straight onto the leg side, and it's fielded there by Sharkey, and that's the end of the over. A maiden over there, 120 for 8. Renton a wicket in that over. Sam Peter bowled. Collins 3 wickets. And just 2 now to take for Ashington. Renton and Dag just having a little chat there. We've been going for 2.5 hours now in this innings, and we've got the 41 overs, so over rate just a little slow. And here we go. In fact, it has picked up. It was a little slow up to about 2 hours, but it has picked up again now. 45, 17 overs an hour they look for from the league, but here's Dag facing up to the next one now, and that one's just played back to him, and I think it's O'Brien bowling at the top end. Change of bowling, Rutherford's gone off. Dag's facing, one slip in. Here he goes now. Dag forward defending there, the short extra cover. We've got one slip, we've got a point, we've got a short extra cover, we've got an orthodox extra cover, we've got a deep mid off and a deep mid on, a mid wicket, a steep square, a deepish square leg, and a backward square leg. Dag forward and defends, and we've just had a goal in the football, I think.
Sweden, 1-0 against Germany.
Sweden, there you go. Right about John Fletcher sitting next to me here. 1-0 to Sweden against Germany. While we have a change in the field here at Ashington, we're going to have two slips now, and the leg slip, that's Sharkey, and Harmison standing there with them long legs wide apart as he tries to swing and a miss there from Dag. He tried to play against the spin there, trying to hit it over mid wicket, and he wasn't up to the ball, so Dag now just faces up again. There wasn't a run there. It's still 120 for 8. Full this time on the leg stump, and he's hit that one past mid wicket. It races away out towards the boundary. It's not going to get there. Dag gets 2 runs, and he comes back down to the striker's end here. So it's 122 for 8 now. Tynedale 9 to Dag. Renton yet to score. So the gap goes down to 106 or 105 from Ashington's score. Dag's back in this one, and he pushes it up off the back foot up to Rutherford there at deep mid on, and he's going to get another single. Takes the gap down to 105, and that's the end of the over. 123 for 8 Tynedale after 41 overs, 10 to Dag, and Josh Renton yet to score. And who are we going to have to bowl now? Is Harmison? I think he might have bowled his 12. It's Collins again. He's just left his cap for the umpire there, umpire Tomlinson, to pick up. Sharkey has the ball at the moment. What time are we getting up to? Just coming up to just after 7:30 here tonight at Ashington on a beautiful sunny evening, and it's going to be Collins, medium, just over medium pace, right arm over the wicket. So we've got 2 slips, a gully, a backward square leg, a short square leg, and a short mid wicket, and he's driven that one up towards the long on boundary, and that's a nicely timed shot for 4. And 4 more to the total, and Dag goes to 14. The score goes to 127. A nice on drive there, straight on drive from Dag, and there's a call for the side screen to be moved, and it's his dad Neil going across to push the scoreboard away from us here for the left-hander, because Collins is going to come around the wicket. 103. Now the gap's down to 101 to win. It's 101. Just seen the scoreboard click over there. 101. Dag 14 on strike. 2 slips in a gully. Collins in, bowls, drives, and good shot. Straight to cover there, just cover point, just next to umpire Wellburn up there. And there's no run. That was a full ball, just outside the off stump there from Collins as he turns again at the end of his run. So Collins to Dag. Dag's forward, playing a miss outside the off stump this time, and it's through to Grant, the wicket keeper, and there's no run. And here's Collins. So Collins just didn't get the ball there, and scanning about, just going to pick it up there, and now he's going to bowl again. He's been doing some diving about, been doing some polishing of the ball as well, by the looks of that red on the side of his leg. Just kicks the legs up again, and he goes round the wicket to Dag, and that's taking an inside edge, and it goes between him and the stumps out to that short backward square leg there. So there's no run. 127 for 8. 100 the gap from Ashington, 101 it would be to win. We're in the 42nd over. 8 down for Tynedale, 2 wickets to take for Ashington. Collins in again. Bowls. Dag drives for 4, square of the wicket, a lovely shot, timed it beautifully up to the trees, across to the right, and he gets another 4. He goes to 18, the score goes to 131. And Tynedale have got the second batting point, so 150 is the next target, 131 for 8, and now the winning gap's down to 99. As in goes Collins again now. 2 slips and a gully. Full, and it's driven again, but straight at the fielder Sharkey there at mid-off, and he picks it up off the ground, and there's no run. 131 for 8 after 42 overs, 18 to Dag. And Venton, he hasn't scored yet. He'll get his chance now to get off the mark, to register at least 1 run. And just seen Tom Cant, the Tynedale captain, come across in front of the clubhouse here. He's just gone to sit down on the front of the terrace there. We're going to have changes in the field again. The sight screen's on the move at the top end for Renton. And is it O'Brien to continue from the top end? I think it is, yes. He's going to start right arm over the wicket, slow bowler to Renton. And he plays forward there, misses outside the off stump to a fuller ball there from O'Brien, and Grant takes it cleanly. So no run there, it's still 131 for 8, 43rd over. And here's O'Brien again now. In he comes and bowls, driven, and that was a bump ball straight into the hands of... Oh, he's caught it, has he? Yes, I thought he was stanging about. It looked like a bump ball. Couldn't see it, but no, he's been caught in the covers. That's Josh Renton gone. He's caught, so just 1 wicket left to take now for Ashington. And he walks off, turns and walks off, out for naught, caught, and that was O'Brien with a wicket there. So his first of the afternoon. And Tynedale 131 for 9. And the gap is 96 now. And out goes Paul Newton, the last batsman here for Tynedale. So 96 short at the moment, Tynedale of Ashington's score. 227 for 8. Ashington scored. So we've got the full complement here. We've got a leg slip, a slip, and 2 forward short mid wickets, and that's chopped away square on the offside by Newton, and he gets off the mark with his first ball led backward point, and that takes it to 132. So 95 the gap now. Dag on to strike, 18, 43rd over. Sight screen on the move again. Sun's still out here. And Tynedale just with the 1 wicket remaining here. And Dag, and that turned with Dag going forward. Just pitched and turned past the bat there through to Grant. And even from this angle, it was plain to see there that one pitched and just either held on the straight or moved away from the left-hander. Here's O'Brien again, nice high action, and he's driven that one up to deep mid-on there, and Rutherford goes down at medium pace to pick that one up off the floor and comes back up a little bit slower as well. But he's back up now. In he comes, he's up now round the wicket, the left-handed Dag, and he chops down on that, and he's going to get a single up to deep mid-off there. So 133 now for 9 Tynedale, and the gap's come down to 94, and that's the end of O'Brien's over. So the end of the 43rd, 44th coming up, and there'll be seven overs to go here, and it'll be Collins to continue from this near end, the broadcasting end here this afternoon. And just past 20 to 8 here. And here we go. Here's Collins about to go in round the wicket to William Dag. 94 the gap at the moment. And there's 2 slips, a gully, 2 square legs, a short mid-wicket. As Collins in now, round the wicket he goes, bowls to Dag, who's forward in defence and pushes it back down the pitch. On the offside we've got deepish, deep point more or less up there, and a very deep mid-on across to our right hand side here. And here's Dag again now, just sets himself, 2 slips in that gully, waiting patiently now. They go down, the bowler goes in, Collins, past umpire Tomlinson and bowls, and he cuts this one away square, and that's a very good half stop there. I think it's O'Brien in the gully. He got down quickly to that one, and with his left hand diving to his left, and he just gives the hand a little shake there. That might have stung, but Dag has got 1 run there, 134 for 9 now. The gap comes down to 93, and the spectators still hanging on up at the top end in the sun, just to the left of the side screen where they've been most of the day. A selection of deck chairs and summer chairs up there. But here's Newton now facing up to Collins, who's going over the wicket. Newton's forward and turns square on the leg side, and that goes to Harmison along the ground, and there's no run. And Dan Parker just lifts himself up off a chair in front of the clubhouse here. He was kind of in a leisurely pose. He's in a different pose now with his hands on his hips, but he's having a little chat and a giggle about something. They can't lip read them from here. Jeremy Crichton obviously finds it a bit of humour in it. But here's Collins, who goes into Newton now. He's there and bowls, and that's shout for LBW, and the whole Ashington team go up. But umpire Tomlinson isn't moved. He stood statue still there at the near end, never even moved a hand out of his pocket. And that was the end of that, and Newton survives that one. It's still 134 for 9. 93 the gap. And this may be the 44th over? I don't know if they've changed it over. Newton's 1 not out anyway. There's 4 slips in place. Collins in to bowl to Newton, and he's placed that one through the leg side, and it's straight to Harmison on the ground, and he chucks it at the stumps of Newton, but it misses and it's backed up there. So no run there to Tynedale. Dag 20 at the non-striker's end. A nice little cameo from him at the end. Some good shots, a lovely on drive, lovely timed down towards the clubhouse here. But here's Collins to Newton. He's bowled him, and Ashington have won. Ashington have won this match by 93 runs. Tynedale are all out for 134 in the 44th over. Dag finishes not out 20. Newton's the last man to go. He goes for 1, bowled by Collins, who takes 4 wickets for Ashington. So well done to him. The other wickets went to Harmison, 2 to Rutherford, 1 to Sharkey, and 1 to O'Brien. And Callan McCabe made 48 for Tynedale, the highest score in their innings, and was stumped just 2 short of his 50. And that was quite a while ago now, but we've played right through to the 44th over. Ashington win this match by 96 runs, and they scored 227 for 8 in their innings. And the wickets there went to 1 to Tom Cant, 1 to Colin McCabe, 3 to Josh Renton, 1 to Sam Peter, and 2 to Paul Newton. And that was in the Ashington innings, and Tynedale replied with 134 all out from in the 44th over. So that's it as the players make their way off. tonight here at Langwell Crescent. It's been a long afternoon, but a lovely one weather-wise. And although the game didn't come as much as us spectators like it to come close at the end, it's been a good afternoon's cricket. There's been no nonsense or anything like that. The two umpires make their way off as well. But from here at Langwell Crescent, with Ashington winning by 93 runs in the 44th over, we'll be back next Saturday with more commentary. And there's a double header weekend next weekend. Don't forget that, 30th of June and the 1st of July, where Tynedale firsts are away on the Saturday and at home to Stocksfield on the Sunday. The same team on both days for everybody in the league over that double header weekend next week. But from here at Langwell Crescent, I'll speak to you again next Saturday. Tynedale 134 all out, Ashington win by 93 runs. Good night.